Hello. I'm so glad you came. Yeah, it's Sunday, so I have the pleasure of welcoming you to the Advancement Center. With its physical location here in Santa Barbara, California. But its true location is in the hearts of everyone across the globe who has been open to learn of their true origin. And living here and joining me when I say, welcome to the world of magic and miracles. I love welcoming you. Yeah. Our own acceptance of magic and miracles will bring to life what has been hidden for centuries. And we will add a little magic to everything every day until the impossible disappears and the miracles flow as easily as they did when we were first born. Added magic produces perfection, and in turn generates added value. It's so true. And if we examine our lives, we see that what I just said is so true. Just yesterday, I watched the graduation exercises via the electronic miracle called YouTube of my granddaughter, Megan, receiving her master's degree in child psychology and is already working with children in a public school. Megan's most prominent attribute, she's just so amazing, but her prominent attribute is her love nature, which has only grown since her magical childhood, where she was appreciated completely by her loving family. It was quite an experience, especially when I realized that her mother was in the audience when I received my master's degree. So there have been many, many graduations in our family. As I watched the graduation exercises, my thought was, oh, how I wish that I had the opportunity to greet the gathering, to congratulate them for learning the ways of the world and how best to maneuver to survive this commercial-driven environment. I would introduce them to their inner environment that they brought into this world when they were born, with their inner resources, their magic, and their miracles that have been taken for granted for such a long time, such as changing their mind, healing their bodies, following their spirit when they gazed out the window from the classroom, dreaming, making believe, imagining, making up games to play, and loving fairy tales with magic. It is time to talk in a new way about intentions and desires that dwell within each person and the effect that these have on the world. Each and every one of you has a multitude of intentions and hidden desires that rarely come to the surface. And most of all, we are regulated by external influences that rarely accommodate our personal intentions or desires. Because of this, we tend to split ourselves into two or more personalities designed to accommodate the various phases of life. We can be in work mode or in holiday mode, depending on the circumstances, and we can take on one or more personalities for each of these modes. There is no right way or wrong way to establish this split, but over a period, we develop a set of rules that we enforce for each particular combination. The power we put into maintaining our individual set of personalities is gradually becoming free as we find there is no need to divide ourselves up and develop specialized categories for presentation to the world. And then I would go on to say to these graduates, at the time when you began to establish yourself as part of the social workforce, there will be a drive to go further afield and advance in particular specialties. But the greatest force is from family, friends, and society in general. This, we find, is now changing in the field of each individual. There is something more that everyone is reaching for. The hidden desires are coming to the surface. But the general function of our social society is not yet conditioned to accept or deliver our deepest desires. The thing that has changed is that humanity as a whole has grown up, and it seems like the tools and conditions of our world no longer fit our advanced nature. The recent advancement in world communications through the internet has taken us into a more advanced digital age, but our sense of recognition of what is still needed has outstretched the capabilities of that industry. Quality and performance are paramount, and consideration of the difficulties in providing perfection is almost zero in the mind of the consumer. The performance of miracles seems to be the unspoken demand, and the right to live a free and happy life seems to be the verbal demand of everyone. For many centuries, the most powerful people in the world have researched and sometimes depended on the magic of particular human beings. Secret research programs exist in every country in the world that are attempting to tap the unlimited resources displayed by humans. If any country can hold and keep the secret of our hidden resources, they can control the world and possibly the universe. We as humans hold the key to the impossible, and we can apply this to anything at any time. It will simply happen in the flow of magic as it takes over and drives you without reference to any function initiated by basic logic or training. The things that concern mankind are not, in reality, part of life itself, but part of the play set up to guide the progress of life from one event to another. Life is an independent function that is run from the unknown. And this can be experienced in whichever way a person's reality will allow it to be presented. Logic considers that the play sets the rules for life, but in fact, the play forms as a result of reality. Each individual sets to experience life in the physical form. External influences can determine how the play is presented, but there is no connection between outside influences and an individual's reality unless it is included in the formula by the individual. Yeah. There is a complex formula in every person's life that can only be fathomed by its owner. And the ultimate complication is achieved by including the complexities of another person and mixing it with the already complex formula attached to life. To place yourself in a position where reason and logic rule your actions is to place yourself at the mercy of the terribly complicated formula that forms from everyday actions and interactions caused by uncontrollable events and circumstances. If, however, you place yourself in a position where you control your interaction with life itself, you break the logical link that says life is controlled by the play and negate all outside influences by leaving them attached to the play. And you will never feel the need to change your reality to accommodate any form of outside influence. I know by this time I have everyone's ear. The graduates, the parents, the friends who were just cheering moments before. And yet they're hearing something that they have never thought they would hear in this plane called Earth. It's touching something that might just be in the recesses of everyone's mind. So I'll continue with this gathering and speaking to the graduates when I say, in this way, life will continue at the highest rate, influenced by yourself and the unknown. And the play will naturally reformat to suit every aspect of life without engaging the complex formula attached to life and its multitude of interactions. In the simplest form of explanation, it is now obvious that each person's experience of life can be determined by the person themselves. And the world, with all the influences and complications, will naturally bend and move to accommodate that unique life and reality. If their supercomputer, which is personal to each one, is left alone to handle the complexities of the world without any direct contact from a person's logic or analysis, the feeling of simplicity will enter the scene and life will take on a new face that presents a smile and delivers a future of joy and excitement for everyone. Congratulations to every graduate. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles. Love one another as you have never loved before. Your family has brought you this far. Now, wish your mother a very happy Mother's Day, wherever she may be. Thank her for welcoming you to this wonderful place called Earth. P.S. As you dare to climb on the magic carpet of life, you will fly to places that are far beyond your imagination, location, and experience. The wonders that are far from your present location. Oh, that just felt so good. And to be able to say those words to those new graduates of formal training, to be introduced to what is real. Makes my heart sing. What is produced through the industry of magic and miracles when you work beyond technology is that everything is available in the simplest possible form without any glitches or deficiencies. Many people have been prepared for working beyond our present technologies for centuries, but there has never been the opportunity to speak out loud without physical proof and approval from authorities. This is bigger than anything that can be grasped by any person, but it does exist and is more viable for the advancement of humanity in the coming years. Now, how about looking at this explanation? The explanation of flight and the associated propulsion in the early days of aircraft. You will understand that there was no concept of the devices or principles used in today's expanded experience of flight. In the same way, there is no concept of what we are presenting. There is a part of everyone that needs confirmation that they have real data and not something that is part of a fairy tale called magic and miracles. And it's all real. That is what's so wonderful. We are encouraging the world on advancing, and the authorities are not ready to accept this. Who made them the authorities? Interesting. But we wouldn't dare to say that. This is no longer under the control of any authority or organization. It is assisted by all support facilities that have been set up by the various galactic councils and authorities throughout the universe, and is purposely bypassing the hidden authorities who are controlling humanity through deception. But we can see beyond all of that. So just continue to elevate and look to your Creator, and everything will reveal itself in ways that are not expected. Take a trip into every moment and stir the energies as you follow your spirit, so that the gifts that you are destined to hand to the world become obvious and attractive in your field. You are moving forward, and nothing will stop the progress, even though many things may fall to one side along the way. I wrote to Simeon this morning, and he had some lovely things to say. Let's see if I can find them. I also began a brand new journal. A little bit of what I wrote to him was: motherhood brought to an abrupt end childhood. Learning to love another preceded by years of learning. Never mind, it's too complicated. I can't read my own writing. However, what Simeon said is more important. Dearest Barbara, we celebrate you and what you brought with you when you arrived as a wee, beautiful baby who stunned everyone with your constant discoveries. Your mother was in awe of what you did. Oh, okay. Yeah, she was in awe of you because she didn't understand how you could see so many things. You tried to put everyone at ease and love them, and they grew. Happy Mother's Day. This day belongs to you. Love, Simeon. So we come to that part where I share what happened this past Thursday night in art class. And there's a little bit of a story to this one because another person in art class, Jeannie, she submitted a picture of her garden. And it was the most complicated photograph I've ever seen. And I tried to follow Mandar as he demonstrates. And something happened, and I just took off. And this is what happened. So I had to tell you it's a garden, but it's certainly abstract. But it was fun. And if you look carefully, there's a house back there with windows and trees. And that's it. But the most wonderful part of it is the freedom. There is no right way. There's no wrong way. In fact, there's no way. You're left on your own with raw materials called pastels and a paper, and something moves in and moves you. What a wonderful opportunity to just fly. So thank you so much for being with me today. And I feel that graduation speech will hold many for a long time. And now, as always, I wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and an amazing future filled with magic and miracles. Thanks again. I am Barbara.